Hey guys, this is Trenchy back again to bring you another video. And this time we are um doing a review of the movie Mad Max from 1979. The one that started it all. Um this is a really good fucking movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I did revisit it, and it's a classic for a reason. Um, this movie is badass and set up what would come in the three sequels. Um, this this movie stars Mel Gibson as good old Max, and it takes place in what they say a not too distant future. Uh, from when it was released as like a not too distant future, and society's on the brink. Um, it's an apocalyptic future. Society's on the brink, but humanity's still trying to get through. Um, the streets became rampant with crime. There are criminals driving around going crazy, and it's up to these police officers, the Bronze, from the Hall of Justice to clean up the streets. And they don't really care how they do it. As long as the paperwork's clean, you could murder the fuck out of people, and even one of the officers in the movie is like, "Yeah, this punk's gonna die. Not I'm gonna bring in this punk." He's like, "No, this punk's gonna die." It's like they don't really care how you do it as long as it's clean in the paperwork, because they are trying to live by some sort of rule system. But when you're out there in the wild, in your cars chasing these criminals, what happens happens. As long as the paperwork's clean, you're good. Um, which was a very interesting subject to deal with. It's not like your other apocalyptic films, because usually society has already collapsed, but in this one it's still holding on by a thread, which was an interesting take. And you got it starts out with a badass car chase. These few cops are chasing this guy who's calling himself the Knight Rider. He killed a police officer. He's got the car. He's like, "I'm the Knight Rider. Do you see me, man? Do you see me, Tokara?" Like, he's going nuts. And they're chasing him. There's some really cool stunts. They're going through trucks and shit. Um, Not trucks, but they're going through like a camper. They're crazy, keep crashing the car. They keep driving. Like, these two cops keep crashing. They keep driving with this fucked up car after they crash. Fucking, they almost hit a baby. There's a baby in the middle of the street because people are stupid. And these cars all maneuver around this baby. And the baby ends up getting picked up and swept away, thank God. But this, like, poor baby has all these cars, like, fucking driving and almost crashing around it. Like, what the fuck? Because the fucking baby just wandered into the street, and nobody was paying attention to it for a good 5 minutes. The poor fucking baby, man. Um, yeah, fucking awesome way to start out the movie. And, Mad Max comes and he takes care of the Knight Rider character. And he ends up scaring the shit out of him. And, guy ends up blowing up. Goes off the road and blows up. And, you really gets you ready for what you're in for. A really grungy, badass, gearhead, adrenaline-filling action film, which is what this movie is. But it also is a character focus on Max in a way. Because we get to see Max start out as this guy trying to hold on to his humanity. He wants to leave the Force. He wants to put it all behind him. Because he's starting to enjoy it. And he's starting to become what he feels like as bad as these just rampant gangs and criminals running the street and shit. So you kind of get the story of him trying to get out of this life, and through the horrible events that happen to him throughout the film, he is slowly dragged in and slowly becomes a monster in a way. You're rooting for him, but he becomes pretty much just as bad as these criminals running the street. Maybe not as bad, but he becomes ruthless like them. And you will see that carried on for the rest of the franchise. And it's kind of cool as you see Max slowly melt down, that you see through the sequel Society has melted down. So it's kind of cool the parallel between Max breaking down and the Society breaking down in this franchise. But you know, I love the shots during the car sequences. You have a lot of just shots that put you right in there. You got shots inside the car looking out the windshield, shots on the side of the road, shots from another car of them coming up towards you, you behind them, and another car. Like, they had a lot of great ways to shoot the scenes to really get you pumped up and feel like you're part of these chase scenes. Some of them are looking at the characters while they're driving, from behind in the car while they're driving, from the sides. You see everything from another car filming all these other vehicles coming. And like I said, the vehicle stunts in this are great. Totally practical. You got bikes flying. You got, like I said, cars are going through RV, fucking campers and shit. Like, people are flying all over the place. Like, this fucking movie, man. This fucking movie is just very creative on the chase sequences and the car fights and just how they shoot it and stuff. The villains are fun, are great. You got Toe Cutter, who's kind of like, not really in personality. In personality, he's more like he's like a crazy fucking psychopath. He's a crazy psychopath leading his band around, just creating chaos, essentially. But it's funny because he looks like a fucking, like a punk rocker homeless Wolverine who's like really let himself go, like a fat punk rocker homeless Wolverine. That's how I will describe Toe Cutter's appearance. And Toe Cutter's just crazy, man. He's very theatrical. Like, his performance felt very kind of like stage play. Like, he had these big expressions and fun movements, and but he was also really scary. Like, there's a scene where he's bringing one of his members out, and he puts like a gun in their mouth, and he's like dragging him into the ocean and shit. And it's like, oh fuck, man! Like, that's some creepy shit right there. Some creepy shit. But yeah, Toe Cutter and his gang, and especially his right-hand man, I think it's Bubba, the short blonde-haired dude. Oh shit, man. That dude was fucking creepy as fuck. I definitely think Charlie Hunnam in Cold Mountain. The character he played in Cold Mountain, I think, was inspired maybe a little bit from this character from Mad Max, because I felt a lot of I felt a lot of similarities between the two, especially the look. There's definitely, they look a little similar, and just the way they acted was pretty similar. But I think Charlie Hunnam's character in Cold Mountain was a little bit more brutal. Well, not more brutal, but he was a little bit more like crazy, a little more crazy and enjoying it. Um, this movie had a lot of like great characters in it. You got Goose. I love fucking Goose. Goose is probably my favorite character of the movie. He was very enjoyable, and he just enjoyed his job, man. He was kind of the opposite to Max, who wanted out. You got Goose, who just enjoyed what he did and enjoyed bringing these scumbags in, and enjoyed every second of it. And Max was scared of becoming him because something happens to Goose later on. And Max is afraid of that, and that's one of the reasons he tries to get out. Because he realizes he's becoming like Goose, and he doesn't want to end up like Goose did. Which that's a very powerful scene. Like, there is a lot of brutality in this movie, but a lot of it they leave to the imagination. And a lot of it, either you only see the aftermath, like there's a scene where the gang attacks a couple. You only see the aftermath of that, which I think is super effective. And there's another scene where a young child is murdered, is ran down, and they kind of do the Pet Cemetery take. Before Pet Cemetery, of course, where you just see like a shoe and like a ball fly through the air. Kind of like what Pet Cemetery did. You only see the shoe flying through the air. You don't see the kid get killed, which I think works. I think that's more effective than showing it. Because, like, it just would have been very off-putting to be shown that, especially it's a gritty movie, but still, even that's going a little too far. So I think what they did show was good, and even more effective, left up to the imagination. Like I said, I really like Max as a character. And I really love the scenes with his family, and I forgot how many scenes he had with his family in this one. They really build up that bond, which I thought was good. It's great how much time they spend on that. So building up to the moments, where something happens and Max's character flips. I thought that was great. Giving a lot of time with the family, seeing them bond. Mel Gibson and the woman had pretty good chemistry. And even though Mel Gibson's acting was a little off at times, most of the time I thought he did a very good job, especially emoting. He emoted really well. Like, after later in the movie, where he's shocked and he's just going through the motions, and it really looks like he's in a fucking trance, and he's just, and you just those facial expressions, man, of like when he's shocked or scared, it's just, oh shit, you really feel it. And he did a really good job with that. This this fucking movie, man, is just a really solid, gritty action revenge film with good car stunts. It's just really well done, and I think I will be doing a spoiler section for this, because there is a fact I do want to bring up, but that would spoil a little bit. But also, I just love the scenery of Australia. This movie was shot in Australia, and you get to see the Australia countryside and the beaches, and everything just looks beautiful, man. Yeah, there's a like dirty like feel to this movie, because obviously it's a gritty movie. That's what I was going for. It's a gritty movie, but at the same time, there is a lot of beautiful shots. The beaches and just like the stone mountains and the forests and even the roads, like even the highways. There's some great highway shots of, like the ditches and shit on the side, and just the surrounding areas. Um, yeah, man. The cinema, like I said, the cinematography is great. From the chase sequences, the driving sequences, yes, every the scenery shots, everything's great about that. Um, I just really enjoyed this film. I think it's a good, solid action film, and it's a really enjoyable entry to the Mad Max series, and it started it all. Um, I don't know if I'll be doing the sequels. I might be, but I don't know if they're gonna be anytime soon. But yeah, I'm gonna give this movie an 8. Nah, I'm gonna give this movie a 9. I'm gonna give this movie a 9. I'm gonna be generous, because this is a really good action movie, man. And it does kind of get overshadowed by its sequels, Fury Road and Road Warrior. Um, and well, Thunderdome I feel is underrated as well, but this one's really underrated. If you have not, check out the original Mad Max, man. It kicks ass. It's different from the other films. It's not really steampunky or like fantastical like some of the other films are, but it's still really fucking dope. It's really down to earth, really gritty, um, fucking grungy and in your face, and really this story of this man trying to live in this apocalyptic future, trying to keep himself together, and just being broken down into something he was afraid of becoming. Um, a madman, so to speak. But yeah. For so I'm gonna do a little spoiler portion here, and I want to talk about a couple things. What's really interesting about this is there is what happens is Max's family is murdered. They're run down in the road, but in the hospital, the doctor says there might be a chance of Max's wife living. Now, I don't know if he was just bullshitting or something, but what makes this interesting is Max goes out, he takes on everyone. He takes on the whole gang. He runs them off the road. He he fights Bubba. He he's able to get a shotgun and shoot down Bubba, even though Bubba shot him in the knee. Gets in his car. He chases down Toe Cutter. And makes Toe Cutter crash into this truck and fucking die in a great, brilliant, over the top way. I wish it was a little bit more personal between Max and Toe Cutter, but it was still a good way to go out for sure. And then Max finds the other guy, chains him to the car. And it's like, hey, either you saw for your own leg, or you're gonna burn to death. You choose. And leaves him. And the guy explodes because he doesn't want to saw for his own leg. And, which was pretty brutal. Fucking badass scene. Love that scene. Also love the scene where Max is interrogating the dude at the garage. But, the fact is, he kind of just drives off broken. And he's lost his humanity. Because he feels he's lost everything. But the thing is, there's a small chance his wife might be alive. Hell, there's a small chance Goose might be alive, even though Goose was badly burned. And even Max was like, that's not Goose anymore. So it's just interesting to note that and maybe I missed something, to note that his wife had a chance of surviving, but he was just so lost. Like, even like they said, no one could talk to him. He was in a trance in the hospital. That he was just so lost in his grief that he didn't even realize his wife might still be alive. And he lost his humanity because he felt like he had nothing left, but there might have been a chance of something still being there. There might have been a chance of his wife still being alive. I find that very interesting. Now, I might be wrong and I might have missed something, but I actually like that a little better than his wife just dying, because I feel like it's, if his wife just dies, like, and she might have, I might have missed something, but you know, yeah, he has, you know, you can understand why he's in this state. You can understand, but if he, and you know, if his wife was still alive, it's like, damn, man, if you just waited, if you just, you know, your wife's still alive, you could have made a future with her. Yeah, kill those fuckers, but you still could have tried to make a future with her instead of becoming this stone cold, stone cold, you know, road warrior. So this seems, it's, you know, in the sequels, but I don't know. I just find that aspect interesting. But yeah, guys, this is my review of Mad Max 79, action classic. Check it out. I hope you guys have a good day. Stay frosty. This is Trenchy signing off. Beep up boop.